Who are your heroes? Welcome to McBain Moments. Alright guys, as always, if you're new to the channel, welcome to the Manor. Please take a moment and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Who are your heroes? A hero. What is a hero? A hero is an archetype. A person who faces great adversity, makes a journey to overcome that adversity, whether it is a physical journey across great distances or a character building journey by dealing with things in their local community. And at the end of the road, they are a better person for it. They have learned something. They have become more than they were. That is a hero. That's the hero archetype. And you can look across legends and folk tales across our entire history and find the hero archetype. And it's very, very similar across all cultures. 99% of your hero's journey archetypes are going to be very similar people, because the traits inherent in someone who can survive great adversity are the same no matter what culture you come from. So what are these traits? They are fortitude, poise, the ability to keep your head on straight when everyone else is losing theirs, the ability to handle stress with good humor, the ability to walk a road that is not traveled often or not at all, blaze the trail, and find the treasure at the end, and then use that treasure in a beneficial way. So, let's talk about heroes. Captain America is a hero. He goes through great adversity with poise and demeanor and great humor, even dark humor, especially dark humor, because when you're in the suck, dark humor is all you got. And you have to be willing to use that humor to get you through. You know, the examples of dark humor from when I was a firefighter, ambulances were universally meat wagons. Like that's all it was. That's just what we called them. We might call them a bus on the radio or something like that because you're transporting people. But they were meat wagons. Oh look, there goes the meat wagon. You have to use dark humor to survive situations like that. And I wasn't a firefighter for very long, but you learn a lot. I was on the fire department for about a year and a half, a little more than a year and a half. I was an actual shielded firefighter for about 8 months before I had to move halfway across the country. Maybe I made it to a year. I can't remember. It's been a long time. But either way, you go to calls, and there isn't a good call, except an accidental alarm activation, which there are many of those. But when you go to a call and it's an actual call, it's an actual problem, you're in the suck from the moment you land on site. There isn't a good call. And you're in the suck until everyone is out and everything's cleaned up. And so you have to use humor in order to make it through those things, or you'll just die of a heart attack. And this is your hero archetype. These people go through things that, by all rights, should stress them to the max. They should be having aneurysms. But they're making it through. Why do they make it through? Because they're able to build themselves up psychologically to overcome these obstacles. They're able to use humor. They're able to focus and deal with these things time after time, piece after piece, take it in segments that you can swallow, even when the whole problem is bigger than you can deal with. And there's a lot of wisdom in that. And I'm not saying that you should go out looking to be in the suck all the time. And that's that's a technical term. We call it the suck. Whether it's in search and rescue or it's in emergency services. I know the military uses it too. Law enforcement uses it. We call it the suck. You don't go out looking for the suck, but when the suck happens, you have to be willing and able to deal with it. And that is the meaning behind a hero archetype. Because heroes, The archetypal hero, the people that we are supposed to emulate, even though they're fictional, are put in great situations, great and terrible situations where they have to deal with the suck. Right now, the whole world is in the suck. By rights, the suck isn't terrible right now. I mean, it's bad. But there are far worse situations. So now the whole world is experiencing the suck. And we have to be willing to overcome it. We have to deal with it with poise, with good humor, dark or not. And we see plenty of it on the internet. There's plenty of good, fairly dark humor on the internet right now revolving around this whole thing. And on the other side of it, we have to maintain who we are and be better people for it. Who are your heroes? Comment below. Because when you're in the suck, those are the people you draw on. And no matter how bad it gets, you can't get angry. I mean, you can be mad, but you can't be like raging. You can't rage against it because it doesn't do you any good. Poise. Say, okay, this is the suck. How do I deal with it? How do we overcome? React, adapt, and overcome. That's how you overcome. That's how you become the archetypal hero. And the more you do that, the stronger you'll be. And frankly, the more success you'll see. Now this was the original purpose behind the rite of passage. To teach you how to deal with the suck. In ancient cultures, the suck was was just a fact of life. And so they had rites of passage to prove that you were able to deal with a certain level of the suck. Well, now we don't have that so much anymore, although everyone's kind of going through a massive portion of it right now. And so we don't really know how to deal with the suck culturally anymore. So I would encourage you to read your hero's journeys. See the traits inherent in those people and try to emulate them as we walk through this interesting time. This has been a McBain moment.